Well, hey, welcome back to Kings Road Young Lions. My name is Saucey, and I'll be your DM for this evening. Thanks for coming around. Tonight we've got a lot of fun in store for you, but I'm not going to be doing this alone. I'm here with the Young Lions tonight. Young Lions, say hello, Young Lions.
Hello, Young Lions.
Young Lions.
Young.
Hello.
Oh my God.
Normally, I do the intro of all 5 members of the Young Lions, but tonight we're rolling with just 4. Is it the final 4, the fatal 4? It's a fatal 4-way tonight. Rosa, Gator, Bronson, and Solomon in the house. Zinthral's taking the week off. He's on vacay, probably, maybe. I don't know. But he'll be back next week, so don't you fret. We promise.
Can I have a spot on the card?
Say again?
Can I have a spot on the card?
Maybe. It definitely maybe.
I'm going to break his leg again.
Yeah. So he's given us creative license to act responsibly with his character, and I'm sure that we will do that. Where we last left
responsibly.
So here's a refresher for those of you who completely forgot what happened between last week and this week. We are in the center of Timber Clash. This is the gym town of Territory 4. It's a bustling, violent, just chaotic town full of angry people, gang members, pro wrestlers, and nefarious lumberjacks. It's a lot of fun. And what we've already been through is a little bit of tryouts for the Grapplemania brand. Zinthral landed a match booking at a backyard event, which is set to happen in 2 days. Bronson landed himself a spot on the ring crew, working security and setting up the ring. Rosa is going to be one of the medical assistants during the event. Solomon's going to be working color commentary, and Gator is going to be working as a manager. Released into town, you have plenty of options about where to go, and just a refresher on the businesses in the town. We've got the general store called the Lawful Goodwill. We've got the fancy Risky Rabbit. It's a Risky Rabbit Deluxe, if you will. Risky Rabbit XL. There is... What else have we got? The Clubhouse, the Hardway Clubhouse here. It says Heartwind, but it's Hardway. As a matter of fact, they have named their clubhouse. You're going to love this. They named it the Gusher. Those who know will know. And beyond that, there's also a tattoo parlor in town called Ruthless Aggression Tattoo. Outside of the town, your boat is waiting for you in the harbor. A couple of your cousins and some folks from Iron Vale are waiting on the ship for you, but you've got money in your pocket, time to kill, and lots of mischief to get up to. So, Young Lions, what do we do now?
Oh, sorry, I was coughing. I don't. What were we headed any particular way after that, or we were just? It was pretty much just you're dismissed, and then we ended session, right?
That's right.
How much time do we have until this show?
So 2 days before the show. The show is on a Saturday, and this would be a Thursday. I don't think that we have specific days of the week in this world, so for lack of a better description, it's a Thursday, 2 days till Saturday, and then the backyard event happens then.
Yeah. All right. We got lots of time to kill, and remember, everyone, another additional reminder that this is an incredibly dangerous place. Everybody always have a buddy. Make sure you're all buddied up. Zinthral, you especially.
Call Bronson.
So Zinthral, AFK, is just staring in one direction. Just, yep.
Yep. All right, I have 2 pets that I'm going to guide around today, but...
There you go. He's on, what is it, auto follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is locked on to Solomon and will follow you anywhere you go.
He keeps walking in place just right beside him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great. I may even tell you to do something at some point in time. You never know.
Oh yeah, he takes emote requests, so he can do the hammer dance, or he can do he can whip and he can nay nay, whatever you choose. He said he's on board.
Can he teach me how to Dougie? Teach me how to Dougie.
He's not much of a teacher, but
Only the Dougie can teach you that skill, Bronson.
So it's safe to say that all his bitches do not love him.
It's true.
I don't know. We can
My
take a
only
poll.
one left me.
Oh.
It was sad.
Oof.
All right. Well, we should go maybe book a room at the extra nice Risky Rabbit. I know we got to pay for it now, but just to make sure we have a safe place where we can congregate and discuss our next plan of action.
Now that you mention it, there was also another tavern and inn called The Shield that's in town. And it appears to be a average-looking, mediocre accommodation, tavern / Holiday Inn-ish type establishment.
We had also mentioned going back to the ship and sleeping there for safety reasons.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But, yeah, you're right. Maybe we should just, let's
kill 2 days and then completely derail this session before it even gets started, making sure that Saucey put in all of these NPCs that will never, ever get seen.
Oh, we've got...
What's the name of the tavern?
The tavern is called The Shield.
Is it run by Michael Chiklis?
No, it's. I was going to say it's ran by 3 men with very wet hair.
Oh,
one of them's Kurt Angle.
Well, that definitely doesn't make me want to go eat food there. So I'm sure we could get a private table at the Rusty Rabbit, right?
Yep. The bacon and cheese Risky Rabbit. Yeah, that's honestly like of all the places that got brought up, the Risky Rabbit is the one that, like, even if we're having to pay our way, that I feel like is probably going to be the safest because of the implied security protocols and its reputation, the owner's reputation.
Absolutely. And after seeing the absolute kerfuffle that was the Rabbit in Ironvale, I am dying to see what this jazzed up place has to offer.
Okay. Well, we can do that. We can go there. I have to warn you, I don't have a graphic because I didn't anticipate you going into that one. But I can describe it at length. This version of the Risky Rabbit has a very Asian theme to it. So as you enter the establishment, there are sliding doors, and you're commanded to remove your shoes and relinquish your weapons immediately before going beyond the hostess greeting area.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah. I mean,
do we see that other weapons have been checked?
There's not a pile sitting by the door or anything.
Well, they don't have the check area. They don't have shelves with itemized, cubbies.
Kind of like a coat check or something like that.
They have a coat check which is only accessible by the employees. Now's a good time to describe the employees. They're almost dressed as geisha, so they are in silk kimonos, and they are very dialed up, very proper, and they have. You can see that their face is done up in makeup. Their hair is tied up properly. They're dressed modestly as well. And this, from what you can observe, this appears to be a house of service and companionship rather than a house of how do I put this? Of
Ill repute.
yes, there you go, bingo. So there are people being served hot tea, and there are people laughing amongst each other, and in a contrast to the rest of the city, this seems to be a bit of a sanctuary, an escape from the violence, from the debauchery. This is the only place of culture that you've seen thus far.
Nice. All right.
This is exactly what we need to really sit down and crack out a plan. Is there a hostess that we can? Excuse me.
Yes. So
Private
there.
room,
There is a hostess, and she is she's a small woman. A girl is probably a better word to use. Of her early 20s, appears to be, has slightly pointed ears, assuming she is a half elf, and she is about 5 feet tall. She's very modest, very mousy. And so she greets you in a way that is extremely accommodating and welcoming. And she asks you, "Welcome to the Risky Rabbit. How may we serve you today?"
Yeah, we're just looking for a nice, freshly cooked meal in in potentially a private room.
For how many hours do you require a private room?
The length of the meal.
Okay.
So maybe.
Yeah, he was looking for a private booth, basically, not a private room like an actual.
Well, they have all these sliding doors
Accommodation.
around here.
Yeah.
I figure if one of these doors slides closed and is kind of a private room to sit down and have a
Right, but I mean not.
Do you have any party rooms that are separate
Right.
from the rest of the dining room? A private room for having a meal? That's all.
She says, "Of course, I can take you there." Before heading that direction, do you require a male or a female host for your meal today?
Oh, let's get a male.
I just look at Solomon of like dealer's choice. I mean, like.
Okay. So she gestures for you to follow her and leads you back down a hallway, and then there's a sliding door with a paper screen over it. She slides it open into a room that there are already people in this room sectioned off in the corners with like one of those dressing screens that are kind of sectioning off the room. So it's a shared room with dividers inside of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. The area where you're taken to sit, there are no chairs, right? There is a very low table with pillows around it, and then there is a sunken area around the table where you could put your feet down below. Does that make sense? It's
Finally,
a recess
you all
floor.
have to sit at a table my size.
Woo woo.
So as you guys look around, you're seating yourselves and everything like that. You guys don't see me because I'm at the weapon check, taking just an inordinate amount of time. So I put down my greatsword, and then she, the attendant goes to like put that away, and then she comes back. I put down the great axe. And then she goes, puts that away, and then like 2 daggers come out of my belt, and those get put away. And then like I'm like patting myself down, and then realize, oh yeah, 2 more hand axes, off of my shoulder, and then a whole bundle of javelins from out of the quiver in behind me. I'm like, I think that's it. Yeah.
And how
should be good
thing.
now.
I'm doing the same thing, but it's like the mask. So it's like rubber chicken, snap out, mousetrap, bazooka. I have a permit for that. Picture Calloway's wife. What? Margaret, you bastard! Well, I figured you had a sense of humor. After all, you married her.
Ayo.
I'm done.
And how about the bag of holding?
I think Solomon's got that. This is just stuff that's on me.
Mm-hmm. We're going to check the bag of holding as well.
I mean, if we have to.
Is it a weapon?
It's just an empty bag.
It's a bit cumbersome. They do offer to take and hold on to it for you.
I mean,
Don't
I
put it
actually
anywhere
don't
extra dimension.
see an issue with that. Yeah, just keep it in a regular old cubby.
Okay.
Store with its portable hole.
That's
So-
fine.
For each item you check, you're giving a ticket with a winking rabbit on it. The logo of the Risky Rabbit. However,
Bronson, put all your stuff in the bag, all right? And then we'll just check the bag, and then we only need one ticket.
Unless somebody
Okay,
steals
and
the
so,
entire
like,
bag.
I give all the tickets back, and I'm like, well, let me just put all those in the bag.
And then they have to bring all the stuff
Yep.
back.
Yep.
and how about your championship belt with your 3 badges?
Those were
That's not a
already in
weapon.
the bag.
You're gonna wear that to the table.
No, those. I thought that was already in the bag because we're being low profile.
Well, his belt has some additional properties to
Yeah,
it.
I get strength from it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
no, that's yeah, it's pretty much a fixture. I don't really want to give that up.
That's fine. No, you can wear it. It goes with every outfit, right? Everybody needs to know that you're the champ.
It's like having a gun in your waistband. All you got to do is just move the coat aside a little bit, and then people know what's up.
Okay, so the bag is checked. You're brought to the table, and then you sit amongst yourself. You don't wait very long before you're greeted, and then a pretty young girl or young woman, young man. We
Hard to tell.
well, no, we put in a request for the young man. So a very androgynous young man approaches the table. He is
Oh,
great.
he couldn't be a more manly man.
He is not. Though, if you would like to request a change, we can have Butch serve you today.
We're all about muscles.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Come on in, son.
So he's. If there's one word to describe him, it would be graceful in the way he moves. Just very deliberate, very artful in the way that he moves. It is almost entrancing. I'm not saying that anyone is sexually attracted to him, but this is a beautiful man.
It's mesmerizing.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your name?
You would have to ask his name. We've gone like months without asking anyone's name. I've got it here.
Well, he's going to be the only one who has access to us during this conversation, and I want to make sure that we have a good rapport.
His name is Bowden.
Bowden. All right, Bowden. It's nice to meet you. Thank you so much for serving us today. As you can tell, very kind to service staff. Please, take good care of us. I'm going to say we're having kind of a discreet business meeting here today, which is why we requested the private space. So, if you could act as discreetly as possible throughout this process and afterward, depending upon things that are discussed in your presence, I'd be willing to be quite generous, and I'll slide like a 10 gold over to him.
He graciously accepts the offering and slides it into one of many pockets on his leather, I guess it's a tunic, right? And he says, of course, discretion is one of my many qualities.
Perfect. then I think a hot meal and a tea service. Everybody, I think that's what they do here.
Oh
I give
yeah,
it a big thumbs up.
the tea cart is actually readily available, and he's serving you the tea before you even ask for it.
Fantastic.
And he says,
All right.
do be careful. The tea is quite hot, but quite delicious. The herbs and tea leaves were locally sourced. They were picked by the gentlest of hands, and you will find no better beverage in all of Timberclash. And for today's meal, I've taken the liberty of ordering for you, if that's quite all right. But I have quite a knack for understanding what people need and what people truly enjoy. So, if I'm incorrect, please let me know. But I'm never incorrect.
Fabulous.
Sounds great.
And you go about that, and we'll begin conducting our business. All right, Bowden?
Okay, so he serves tea to each one of you. Sure to make prolonged eye contact with each individual person at the table, including Zinthral and including... Is Snugglecup there?
Oh, yeah. Everybody needs a buddy, and he's part of the group. We can't leave him alone at any point in time in this city. He's high risk because he's still small. He's ready to
He's
grow
also
up.
well trained.
Sure.
I checked him at the front desk. He was very dangerous.
Better and better trained every day.
Well, at least he's not in the bag of holding, so that's perfect. The staff has arranged quite a nice seating area for Snugglecup as well. This is all very comfortable and beautiful. There is soft lo-fi music in the background. It's all great. This is the most relaxed any of you've been in a long time.
All right, this is the perfect place for us to scheme.
Okay, so given some time between when you're greeted by Bowden and when he returns with the food, what would you like to do?
All right, we got 2 days until this show. Let's just say the show is going to be its own thing. We're just going to have to do what we're going to have to do. And Zinthral, when you're a little bit more with it here, I do want to have a conversation with you about what it's going to take to get your ego through that. But I'm not going to phrase it to you that way later. But in the meantime, we got a little bit of time to kill, and we should really try to get some more of the lay of the land around here. I'm particularly hinting at what's going down hardware-wise, and I'm kind of cooking up a little bit of an idea.
What you got in mind? I'm up for, wrecking their house whenever possible.
Well, let's just say I'm a master disguise, and I can create a persona out of anywhere, but the truth is I actually have this sustained talent to perfectly impersonate somebody else. So if potentially we did some looking around and could find a member of the Hardway who's a smaller person like me, I could perfectly replace that individual, if you know what I mean.
Nice. We haven't really met up with any, diminutive Hardway members.
No, we have not, but I'm hoping here, where they're the most concentrated,
Yeah.
finds one.
Into the drink he goes.
They seem to heavily recruit from the genetic pool of humans and half-elves. Thus far, that's pretty much all you've seen.
One little bastard who's rough and tumble enough to make it. I've met some crazy halflings and gnomes in my time. No offense, Rosa. I'm not speaking about you. it'll be a lot easier if there is a smaller person in the hard way already that I could replace. I just need to be able to get a little close to him, spend a little bit of time, study their speaking and their tone and their mannerisms, and I could perfectly portray that person forever if they were so to say disappear.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, how incapacitated do they need to be?
For me to be able to figure out how to mimic them, I would need them fairly cognizant.
Sure, but like I'm talking like return to society or not.
I mean, that would come down to, would I be trying to be this guy while having him walk around and being him in secret, trying to catch my moments? Or he could go away forever and I could pretend to be him in any situation I wanted.
There you go. I'm down for that. Let's keep an eye
I'm
out.
looking heavily at Rosa.
I've got my fingers in my ears.
Now,
La 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 la.
perhaps there may not be a candidate. If they are sizest enough, all right, I'm a forest gnome originally, all right? So I have met some burly lumberjacks for my people. So if they're sizest enough to not let any small people into the hard way, then I'm gonna just have to create a persona of the most hard way small person that they've ever met. And that's gonna be more difficult than replacing somebody. So
Right.
that's just where I'm coming from.
You know, there was one dwarf who was in the hard way.
There was I am
Was that tricky,
kinda
Vicky?
like
Yes. Yep.
Solomon is a bit pudgier, but that's also fake. So I don't know if I could pull off being that stocky enough. It's got to be practical, otherwise somebody could dispel me. I can't just throw up an illusion for it to be truly convincing. We got to sell here.
Let's just keep an eye out and like pocket that idea for a minute.
Yeah, it's
So,
going
do
to
we
take some
wanna-
investigation first and foremost, some reconnaissance.
Yeah, so other than that, we want to like give them a wide berth for right now until we at least finish business here. Or
You know who's
if we can
stealthy
get
and
back up-
agile and perceptive?
Gator?
Zinthral.
This is gonna be my fourth choice.
Zinthral, to the rooftops. Gain reconnaissance on the hard way. Find me a little person.
At this time, Bowden returns to you with a bottle of some type of brew, and
Right after we send Zinthral away.
and the tea that was served to each of you. Do each of you drink the tea?
Oh yeah.
I've probably been here before, so I'm actually waiting for the bottle. I'm gonna put a little shot in my tea.
Sure. Okay, so Bowden returns and he says, "May I pour each of you a drink?"
What's on offer?
Oh, it's a local vintage. It is a fine red wine with hints of mulberry and other fancy stuff. It's
Handpicked by cherubs.
that's right.
Hints of terra firma.
Yes, kissed by the fairies at moonlight. It is fantastic with a hint of lotus dew.
Is that a
Do the do.
euphemism?
I'm like, I'll stick with the tea, but thank you.
Okay,
I'll get loaded.
so pours 1, 2, 3, 4 shots and
Yeah, I'll
asks
take a glass.
may I pour one for myself as well?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Okay, so pours 5 drinks, and Bowden has a seat with you and starts making small talk, conversation. Quite the conversationalist, extremely charismatic, easygoing, easy to talk to, like somebody, like he's one of the party immediately.
Okay. Hey, Bowden.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Solomon, it was correct.
Yeah, that's right. What do you know about the hardware in town?
Oh well, what do you want to know?
Everything you got.
Numbers, weaknesses, whether
Have
or
you
not their
seen
stronghold has
any
to be.
small people?
He says,
Are they as
well,
racist as they seem?
he says a gentleman doesn't kiss and tell, but there's, I, the stories I could tell you about the hard way, you would not believe.
The stories we can tell you about the hard way.
Cheers to that.
You could uphold complete anonymity and still give us some entertaining anecdotes. You know, with he or him or her or they or whoever.
Oh, sure. I would love to tell you a story. Although, I have a very difficult time coming up with a main character for my story. So maybe we could do a little bit of improv here. You could provide the main character of the story, and then I could tell you the story. How does that sound?
All right. So I am partially confused by your proposal.
Well, let's say there was a particular love interest that you have in the hard way, and you would like me to recite a romantic encounter with that individual. Which one would you choose?
Big D.
Oh,
Sure.
Dredge. Dredge Von Derek, the capital D.
Capital D, that's it.
Well,
I mean, it's also Big D.
we know him locally as Dredge. The capital D is, well, you could guess what the D is for. Quite an unsavory individual.
Dredge?
That's what his mother would say.
Von Derek?
He is a bit of a unsavory individual, and unkind, unfriendly, and truth be told, happier to see him in the capital. It's a good thing he's not Timberclash D, if you know what I mean. So, Mr.
Smart.
Is he smart? That's one word you could use for him. It's a terrible word to use for him. He's about as smart as, well, let's say in a game of chess, Snugglecup has a better chance of winning than Mr. D has.
So, if Mr. D is not the most chess playing type of individual, who would that be in the hard way from your experience?
Well, there are 3 founding members of the hard way, and just bear with me for a minute.
Does he say hey yo?
Does he say hey yo? I'm pretty sure he does. Pretty sure he does.
Okay. It's not a big tall one, right? Not Nick's. He's not the brains.
No,
right?
no, not Nick's.
Yeah,
I'd love it if he was one of the founding 3 members.
he is.
That means we're already one down.
Is Dredge, Nick's, and
Drake. Drake is he goes by the name Jock Drake, and he's the brains of the operation, the original founder, the one who started it all. Silvario and Capital D are lesser men in every way.
Gotcha.
All right. And does Drake live in town?
Well, Drake is hard to pin down. If he does live in town, his whereabouts are unknown. Maybe living under an alias, maybe concealing his identity. Jake is a bit of an apparition.
Are you him?
What was his size?
What? He's a strapping.
You ever seen him?
Yes, in his time in Grapplemania, he was certainly here. Of course, I was a child at the time, but it's been a while since I've seen him in Timberclash.
Are there any recordings of this Jake while he was in Grapplemania? Does such a thing exist?
Well, there are images of Drake in the Hardway Clubhouse.
Right.
In fact, there's a painting in their treasure room that you may find of quite interest.
So,
can anybody
if
just
you
walk
were
up
to
and
go-
look at that painting?
yeah, I was
Oh,
going to say,
no,
if you were
no.
to go in the front door of the Hardway clubhouse,
Yeah.
which would be the most direct path to see that painting?
Yeah, I'm just dying to see this painting now.
You know, it's hard to say. It's been so long. I can't say that I remember which direction
I
it
slide
is.
20 more gold across the table.
Give me a persuasion check.
Damn it. My best of 2 was a 9, so that's a total of... Go to my sheet. Persuasion, 15.
15.
That's not
Okay. Yeah, 15 will do it. He says, what you're looking for is behind the bar. But that's usually where you find all the best things in life, isn't it?
It's true. That's the place that lifts our spirits, so to speak.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've had some tea and some light conversation. He offers to play some music for you on a lute. Does a full rendition of Freebird and Don't Stop Believin'. It's mediocre.
Anybody else got any hope and dreams for our Timberclash here?
I'm trying to think if there's any other information that we need.
So the smoker event is going to be at there's a farm that is a few miles north of Timberclash. It's called the Rotten Funk Farms, and don't eat any of the food that comes from there. It's known for its wrestling matches, backyard wrestling matches behind the Red Barn. And legendary wrestlers have been there. Past champions, Iron Masters, they've all wrestled there at one time or another.
It inexplicably produces a huge amount of talent.
Well,
Despite being a backwoods yokel, like indie promotion.
it is a bit of a developmental territory for Grapplemania. So Grapplemania will force people to make their mark at this outdoor wrestling show prior to allowing them to compete inside the stadium itself.
Ooh, I will ask who the biggest draws are right now. Like,
Yep.
if, everybody follows. I want to find out who the players are before we roll up there.
Yep. So
Just based off of reputation right now.
Okay, we are almost there. So he's going to hand you a flyer. It's going to show you exactly what you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Now is probably a good time to talk about how much this whole encounter costs. And Bowden says he's given you lots of information and has quite enjoyed your conversation together. He's wondering if you would like to move this conversation into a more private setting, and is willing to talk fees at this point.
I'm good, but he's been supremely, accommodating for us. And we will be giving this place an excellent review on D&D Yelp.
On
I
Yelp.
mean, how much can we trust him? If we can buy that kind of information, who's to say that people can't buy information about us from him?
Yeah, but I mean, what information really is there? We're asking for local stuff for the most part. I mean, like, he could be like, oh, they were here and they were asking about you, but like, I don't think we've, no one has really discussed any sordid details or anything like that. We're just trying to enjoy a meal and then, group up for,
Yeah, just so that we
Fair
know
enough.
what
Just
we're looking at for the next couple of days.
Sure. So
I'm operating under the assumption that he absolutely will talk about the small thing, the couple of things that we've inquired about, but I don't think anybody has really said anything that I'm worried about, like buying his secrecy. Plus,
I've already
technically,
bought his secrecy.
right, by the the code of this kind of establishment is that, I don't know. I would think that, they're just pretty much trained to not volunteer the information. I mean, we were asking directly about it, so like, unless it was asking directly about us, then I don't know if I'm too worried about gossip.
He's dodgy about asking direct questions about specific people. He gave us some historical information. He hinted that he knows some like saucy details, and honestly, I could care less about the Hardway's sex life. I did not need to know any more than the names of the things that they name.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we're done with them, they won't have need for us.
You got cut off.
Yep.
Oh. What? I don't know what's going on with my mic right now. I said
They
when we're
won't
done with
have
them.
need for
You're cut off. They won't have need for a sex life.
Ah.
Oh, there we go.
Well,
check my
Technically,
mic. Hang on.
gonna get cut
because
off.
they'll be cut off too.
Hey, Saucey.
Yes.
Does this gentleman have any information about the Slamdemic or has heard anything?
Ooh, good question.
That's kind of been my goal. but-
Sure. So at this point, he says we've had tea, we've had conversation and music. We've served a fine meal, and this is a Moroccan style meal where the food is all in the middle of the table, and they serve you bread and like pitas to scoop the food. It's like a shared dish, right?
Oh, now we're all gonna get the
I love that.
pandemic.
So at this point, he says, the typically for a service like this, we charge 40 gold per person. But I like you, it's going to be 25 gold for the meal, for the conversation, for the tea. If you would like a more private encounter, the price doubles or triples depending on how intimate of a conversation you would like to have.
When he says 40 gold, Bronson's eyes flash red for like 2 seconds, and he has that like Vietnam flashback.
Your hand
He, like,
puts
shakes
out
it
of the dock.
This isn't a lazy con man at the docks, Bronson. It's okay. This is an official business person. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily have any further questions.
So he says,
Time, I guess.
well, Miss Rosa, would you like to join me in my private quarters to continue this conversation?
I think I'll pass, but
Ooh,
But-
you could talk
Do
to
you
the
want
manager.
the information?
that was another thing I was going to ask, was about whether or not anybody needs any tending to, even if our partnership between the Risky Rabbit, the Young Alliance has gone away. I would hope that my services would still be needed, regardless.
Yeah, they wouldn't be refused, at least. Yeah.
So Bowden says, in a shared space like this, it wouldn't be prudent of me to discuss things such as the slamdemic or possible illnesses circulating or cult operations.
Yeah. Why don't we take the whole group into a more private situation?
Well,
and we get a little bit more information.
If I may just interject for a moment, I prefer one-on-one situations when I'm having conversations. So
that's fine.
If there's one of you
watch.
If there's one of you in particular that I can converse with, that would be optimal.
Rosa, if you don't feel comfortable, I will go and speak with this young man and learn everything there is to know about the slamdemic for you.
I didn't know if there was anything else you wanted to ask him about, you know what I mean?
I mean, now that you bring that up, I do have, I guess, a couple of follow-up questions, like, is the slamdemic hitting the hard way? But, well, again, more private conversations and whatnot.
Sure. Rosa and Solomon, give me a persuasion check.
That doesn't seem fair. I'm wearing Nix's underpants.
18.
Ooh.
Well, my better roll was an 11, so I only got a 17.
Okay. So Bowden is clearly willing to go with either one of you and share his most intimate secrets with either one of you, but not both at the same time.
I feel like Solomon is more the talker in our group and more the brain, I would think. So.
Yeah, but you have like access to the Risky Rabbit organization, so like you guys could go to a quote unquote private time, and he could present you to the madam or master of the place, and then you could give everybody the check, find out some additional information based off of the fact that you've operated as the medic for the Risky Rabbit. I think that's probably the better of the two in terms of trying to get additional information.
I'm like, why not just speak to the madam directly then?
Right, but to get that kind of access, I think we're going to have to pay for a one-on-one session regardless.
I walk over to Rosa. I hold up a little pouch that I've already disseminated 100 gold into.
Okay.
And I say, you do not have to have sex with anybody, Rosa. Go have a conversation. And then you'll get the gossip out of this person while we get the chance, and they're giving us a decent offer. And then when you have satisfied your curiosity, you can be like, hey, now could you escort me to and introduce me to whoever I need to talk to about helping y'all out?
Right. At this point, we're paying for his time.
Yeah, exactly. That's how houses like that kind of worked.
Yeah, and so, where was I going with that? I can't remember. I lost it. I had a train of thought, and then I remember it now. And now you know how Mistress Wolf said, "Hey, we can still be friendly. You can still use the services, but like you're sort of on your own." We are showing because you know that it's going to get back to her that we showed up. Like I absolutely guarantee that she's going to know about this. So the fact that we are respecting that and operating in good faith, shows that we're working towards, a possible arrangement in the future rather than just be, busted in and be like, we know the owner, or anything like that.
This is
like,
all in good faith, and
right,
it's going to get us what we want to know.
Yep. You got a good point.
We understand that they are a reliable and useful information network. We are willing to operate within the constraints of this new modified agreement in the meantime and not overstep our bounds. And I think this is a net positive way to go about things.
Okay. So to settle up at the table, it's 125 gold pieces total for the entire group. Snuggie gets to eat for free.
That's good.
So I assume
he's just so adorable.
The party's going to go ahead and pay the tab on that.
Oh yeah.
And is there a tip as well?
Oh yeah.
How much of a tip are you going to give Bowden?
Let's see, 125.
An extra 25's 20%.
Okay,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw on a little extra on top of that. Let's go 175.
And keep in mind that the private encounter is going to be an extra 50 gold on top of.
I gave Rosa a pouch of 100 gold.
Okay.
All right, so it'll be coming out of that. Got it.
Okay, so go ahead and deduct that money. You're all squared up there. And Rosa, you are taken back to a private room with Bowden. And we will cut to that. But before we do, let's take a look at this flyer that you were handed for Grapplemania Fight Night down at the farm. We see here the two main draws for that event. The main event is Dustmaker versus Chain Devil. And these are some gnarly looking guys, plus 7 other hardcore matches. We're assuming Zinthral is one of those matches. Saturday at 1 p.m. Tickets start at 3 gold. Since you're working the event, of course, you get in for free.
Do also, they call him Dustmaker because he's so old?
Possibly.
Why does he look like Raiden from Mortal Kombat 2? The movie Annihilation. Remember when he had to come?
Who is that actor?
And he cut his hair.
Oh, he's the Highlander.
Lambert.
Yeah.
He should have wore more sunscreen. This is what happens when you don't wear sunscreen.
Why does Chain Devil look like Mappy Man?
Billy Idol plus the Highlander.
So free entry for ladies if they are brave enough to attend the event, and fans supply the weapons for the matches. So
use my leg.
Pit fighter.
So down at the Rotten Funk Farms, behind the Red Barn, of course. Can't miss it. Okay, we move back to before we move back to the private area, the 4 of you, including Zinthral and Snugglecup, are at the table, and
Zinthral's not here. I sent him to go find me a little hardware person.
Oh, okay. So you just let Zinthral loose on Timber Clash?
Yep.
I figure if he stays on the rooftops and he's constantly making stealth checks, he'll be fine. He's super fast.
What could go wrong?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
He's not with us. So let's not even, taint this with knowledge of his doings right now.
So you'll find out next week what it is that he found out. Okay, so Rosa, here you are alone with a man is possibly the first time in Rosa's life.
The only question is, would you have picked a bear?
They have a bear.
We're going to get to that.
They can get a bear.
So the room is finely decorated. hand-carved wood furniture with very comfortable seating. He offers for you to take a seat on a love seat, and he says, now that we're in a more private setting, how would you like me to provide you the information that you've paid for?
Soft whispers directly into her ear.
You sit on your end, and I sit on my end.
Okay.
And enjoy some nice tea in this nice room.
Lovely. Lovely. And shall I take my shirt off during this conversation, or are we going to keep things modest?
We'll just keep things modest.
Okay.
I'm just here for some information.
Sure.
Somewhere in another room, Gator screams no, and he doesn't know why.
So you just hear boo.
So remind me again the information you seek.
Well, I've been hearing things about a slamdemic, and it's something of great concern to me. Being a healer of sorts, I'm trying to investigate. So I am asking local people as we travel around what they know and anything they've heard.
Well, the slamdemic is a virus. It is a magical virus that is spreading. It's a terrible thing. And those afflicted with it don't seem to be recovering from it. It coincides with the introduction of a rare gemstone that's become prevalent in the capital and other places. The gemstone's been called by many names: rainbow opal, magicite, prismatic topaz. But there is a correlation between the two. I don't know what it is, but there is a religious sect that's been tied to the hoarding of this material. If you see them, stay far away from them. They are bad news. You can identify them by the purple hoods. They tend to have purple as part of their garments. That's how they identify each other. The only name that I've heard is that they go by the name the Darker Order.
I was gonna ask.
Darker Order? I'm making notes over here.
They hold up their hand like this.
Trying to think of what else to ask.
Who is the Exalted One?
Is that actually what you really want to know?
If we're going down a Dark Order tangent.
So, of course,
I don't know anything about this Dark Order, correct? Except for what I was just told.
Everybody knows the Exalted One. That's the world champion, Alfarius Cone, direct out of Territory 4. He has a match coming up very soon against Capital D for that world championship.
Does he wear purple?
Does he wear purple? No. As a matter of fact, he does not. I don't know if this ties back to him or not. It's hard to tell who is behind all of this. You know, in my line of work, you just hear rumors, you see things, and you keep to yourself unless somebody's willing to pay the right price.
Absolutely right. Let's see. I will flip over. How about, let's see, I have 50 left. How about just 10 gold pieces? I gotta portion this out.
Sure. So it takes the 10 gold and slides it into a pocket inside, on the inside of his vest.
Now, if you were a betting man between the Exalted One and Capital D, who would you put your bet on?
Well, I would never bet on sport, but Alfarius Cone has defended the title 12 straight times. There's a good chance it'll be 13. He may never lose again. If you've ever seen the man fight, you would understand why.
Dang. So another question while I'm thinking of it. I assisted other risky rabbits to basically help with anybody that has injuries or illness or anything like that. Would you happen to know if any of the ladies or gentlemen here need any sort of medical support?
Oh, no. We are, everybody is quite well.
Perfect.
At this establishment. We are 100% clean bill of health. No worries about the slamdemic or any other illnesses afflicting any of the client or any of the staff here. I can assure you that I am clean as the driven snow.
What makes you so sure that you're clear of the slamdemic? Is there some sort of testing, some sort of treatment? Slip them another 10 gold?
Well, we have internal staff here that takes care of us, as well as the services of religious figures. Although that's quite a personal topic, and it varies from person to person. But one of our core values here is the honest and well treatment of the people who work in this establishment, as well as the clients who patronize the establishment. This is not a house of ill repute. This is a house of culture, and should somebody come down with an illness, they are treated with care and with urgency, and they are cared for until they return to full health.
That was something I noticed about this establishment. We have visited a few of the risky rabbits. I myself, again, have helped and lent my services to other risky rabbits on our journey. And all of them did not seem as super nice as this place is. I mean, they were nice, but this one is on a whole different level. So that was just a choice of the owner of this particular branch, or?
Well, a little bit of advice. In this world, on the King's Road, you benefit from offering something that nobody else can offer. And in Timber Clash, we offer a safe space, a sanctuary, an oasis, if you will, an escape from the dangers of outside. In other towns, offering a place to follow your vices is something that is unique or sought after. So the Risky Rabbit offers what is in high demand, regardless of where it operates. And I could say the same for yourself in Grapplemania. Offer something different, and it'll serve you well.
Oh, I'll definitely keep that in mind. That's actually sort of deep in its own way. But honestly, I think that's all I really need. You got any more, nice tea or anything like that?
He says, well, I certainly would like to continue this conversation at a future date. But for today, why don't we seal this conversation with a kiss? and he points to his cheek.
All right, I can do that. I give him just like a little peck on the cheek.
It's like doctor or lawyer client confidentiality. You actually have to like purchase his services. It's like prostitute client confidentiality. Now you're safe. Now he can't talk about you.
Yeah, it's like that, or just tell him that I'm the greatest thing ever. So.
Okay, so unless there's anything else you would like to ask, we can conclude this encounter and regroup with the rest of the party. You can go ahead and settle up with the gold that you owe. Okay. And the party can do as you wish.
We're sitting in coat check.
I was going to say, I'll give him another... tip him 20 more gold pieces as well. So, Solomon, you're getting back 10.
All right.
Give him the whole bag.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just give him the whole bag.
Yeah.
All right. So, Solomon gets nothing back.
It's way easier to account for.
Yep.
And if
we're
we come
gonna
back,
lose that 10 gold anyway.
yeah, when we come back, we'll ask for Bowden and we'll get great treatment.
This is true.
That's right. So with your possessions returned to you, with a full belly and some of the finest tea and locally sourced wine, you all leave feeling content and almost as if a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. For the first time in a long time, you feel like you haven't been lied to or told half-truths, and it's a nice feeling.
I feel like we're forgetting something. Got Snuggle Cup. Got our weapons.
Zinthral?
That's it. I guess that's it. That's the only thing it could be.
So where's the rendezvous point for Zinthral after he's finished?
Don't have one.
Okay. So
We didn't fill him in.
So we know where he probably went. He only knows 3 places in town.
Just look
we'll
up.
Just like walk by the hardware place, and I'll just like discreetly point up at every building's rooftop and cast message. Zinthral, you there? Zinthral, you there? Zinthral, you there?
Zinthral is nowhere to be found.
Well, we got to find him before Grapplemania, otherwise they're going to be mad that he's not going to be on the card. But I mean, how mad are they going to be at me? Probably not that mad.
Okay, so we're back in Cluster Town, or this is a real sloppy mess outside these doors. You immediately wish you were back inside the Rabbit.
Welcome to the town of Charlie Foxtrot.
That's right. Okay, so where to, party?
I mean, is it sort of close to the end of the day?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's just go back to the boat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think that we discussed going back to the boat as our option.
Yeah.
And even Zinthral would know that.
Yeah.
So at some point, if we don't find him or see him, he should return to the docks, hopefully in one piece. But that's sort of the in case we don't meet up, this is where we rendezvous. We'll keep an eye out.
That's right.
And he's really athletic. He could make the swim out into the harbor to where we have the boat anchored.
Oh yeah, Zinthral is definitely waiting for you at the boat, as well as the young Celts and Grady and the 6 twins.
6 twins.
I forget all of their names except for Gus.
Gus.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all Gus.
Yeah,
Gus
they.
all the way
Boy, Gussie, how you doing?
He's like hammer drunk, and all 6 of those guys just hammer drunk, but they are accounted for. So
authorized shore leave.
Yeah, more or less. So the young Celts are there. They approach you and they speak for each other. Like they will one of them will start a sentence and the other one will finish the sentence. True like twin behavior. The gist of what they tell you is that they sent word to Big Varro and to Franco to meet in Timber Clash. Nice. They assume it's going to take a few days to get for them to get here unless they're tied up in some type of badge challenge somewhere else. But by the time you are on the main card for Grapple Mania, they should be here, and the House Celtigar will be in full effect.
All right. So we got onto the card for a Grapple Mania show. I'm going to end up working security for it. Zinthral's on the card. We've got a couple of days, one more day before we got to head out for that. So that's just sort of the feedback. I'll bring them kind of up to speed on what we have discussed. I do tell them, I was like, there's a huge Hardway presence. Their clubhouse is here. They're probably like, yeah, we know, we've been here before. Let's see. What else? It may be a good idea to bring everybody, minus the boat crew, to the Grapple Mania show, at the very least, because I know that the Young Celts can get some crowd chants started.
Sure.
So like that'll help hype up. We could absolutely use a couple of plants to start some "This is awesome" chants and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. They said they even offer to bring weapons to the show.
Nice.
Does that mean that there's a sign guy, Celt?
It's me. I'm sign guy Celt.
Oh, you're sign. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Sign guy Celtigar. Yep.
All right.
And
Kelty
Bronson,
boys.
if for any necessary reason that in your security duties that you have to be over closer to the ring, maybe we could set something up where like Zinthral throws the bad guy out of the ring and he like falls into the crowd and you gotta like bounce his ass back in.
Oh yeah, like a lumberjack match. Yeah, I like it.
Well, there are many lumberjacks in this town, so that would be par for the course.
Nice. I'm gonna take a big old piece of like sheet metal.
A little bit, give you an opportunity in all of this as well.
I am gonna make a sign, and I'm gonna find like a big old piece of sheet metal and put it in between the two layers of the sign.
So you're gonna just full on just headshot with the stop sign?
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna raven it up.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else to do before everybody takes a long rest?
I guess before taking a long rest, I pull out some of my vaguely nondescript manifestos.
Sure.
And I open one up. And I sit down and I start working on it again.
Okay. And remind us again, are these manifestos designed to set up a rival?
They were once upon a time.
Okay.
But right now, Solomon, he's kind of going through this crisis of conviction, I suppose, in establishments.
He's inadvertently writing his real memoirs.
Right.
Yeah, right now, Solomon has sat down and is writing a genuine manifesto, and he might be creating something new.
Okay. Well, I don't think many of these folks will ask questions. I doubt that some of them can read at all. But yeah, they give you the space, and they're hammered drunk anyway. So you can work on that, and unless anybody else has anything they need to accomplish, we can go ahead and do the long rest.
Yeah, I want to train with the Young Celts, and like this is something that we did growing up in terms of like just practicing like sword play and martial styles and stuff like that, since it was part of our formal education. Just going through it as not like an exhibition or anything like that, just kind of practice and form, and then head off to sleep afterwards.
Sure. What you've learned is that they're kind of terrible
Still terrible
at forms. Yeah. Yeah, they're I don't want to say they're all talk, but they're mostly talk. And they can.
All right, so we start working on. I was like, you guys are awful individually, and so we start focusing on them, like coordinating and attacking in tandem.
Yeah.
That first of all, so I can actually like get some half decent practice and not just steamroll them, but also because somehow they are greater than the equal, or they're greater than the sum of their parts when they're operating in tandem.
Yeah, that's
like it's inexplicable.
They absolutely excel at double team moves, but individually, neither one of them can hold their own.
Yeah, it's just they like swing and they miss, and then they always go for a super kick, and it's like it's telegraphed, and so it's like Bronson just like catches the whole foot with his hand. It's like no.
Yeah, pretty much. And Grady just eats clementines.
Yep, he's just watching. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Grady does.
Yeah, he's running a little low on clementines, so he may have to switch up fruits while in Timber Clash, but he'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll hit up a produce stand or something like that for him. I mean, we'll get him something.
Okay, so
we don't want him to run out of fruit to eat. That's for sure.
Okay, long rest. One more day before fight night on the farm.
The Majora's Mask, like 24 hours remain.
Yep. So with the whole day at your disposal, I'm just going to go around the table here and ask each person what you'd like to accomplish today. Zinthral just kind of F's off as soon as possible, unless any of you stop him to give him an assignment. We're going to assume
looking for that small person, Zinthral, for going to town.
He responds to you something along the lines of, yeah, got it, no problem.
Okay, wait. We can't just, we're not going to be able to hand wave him 2 days in a row without him getting into some shit. Someone needs to go with him. And if no one else volunteers, that's how I'll spend my day too. On the ground, like if he's like up on the rooftops and everything like that, what I'm doing is I'm just positioning myself on street corners, trying to be fairly nondescript, and keep him in my eye line. So that way, if in case he like trips and falls, or if for some reason someone like sneaks up behind him and like conks him on the head, that he's not just dead.
Sure. So if you are following him for most of the day, chaperoning him or shadowing him, if you will, what he does to fill his day is he makes a trip to the tattoo parlor.
Oh, God.
That's the Ruthless Aggression tattoo. He goes inside and he stays in there for a long time. You don't see him come out the front door. Even after an hour, he's still in there, and you want to continue to wait?
Yeah, I mean, like, at that point, I'm just like, this motherfucker is just... Well, okay, dude.
The tattoo parlor is within, of, like, sight of the Hardway place, right?
It's not far away. It's a block or two away.
Yeah, so I'll start looking around for Solomon.
Sure.
While he's getting a tattoo, I'm like, Jesus Christ. So like, I'm taller than everybody, so I can at least like see like holes within the the mass of people that would accommodate a smaller than usual individual. So I'm just kind of keeping an eye out for like gaps in the crowds that might be where smaller races might be trying to find their way through.
Okay. So, Solomon, let's jump to you. How are you going to fill your day?
since I got a recon team working, I will split my time today, and I'm gonna keep working with Snuggle Cup. My next plan is pretty ambitious. Oh well, no, I haven't locked down. Well, I'm gonna move to my next idea. I want to start teaching him to perform.
Okay. Give me an animal handling roll.
Oh, nope, not that die. Roll this die. Ooh, natural 20.
Sure. Okay. So you've managed to teach him a couple tricks, whether they be roll over, heel, or
I got him like standing on his back paws and putting his hands in the air and trying to balance.
Sure.
So he knows like all the combat tricks at this point, right? In terms of like attack, defend.
I didn't get defend to stick the last time I was working with him.
Gotcha.
But we've got attack down, and we've got sit and stay and come.
Yeah, so he knows to heal and everything like that.
You can call him off, but you can't really you can leave him someplace as well, but you can't necessarily leave him guarding something.
Gotcha.
Sure, that's fair.
He doesn't need that one as much in his current form. While he's small and cute, I want to teach him to dance so that we can get some more attention.
Okay. Gator, what do you do with your day?
Well, at the mention of Magicite, it reminded me I have this weird little piece of stone that maybe it's about time I investigate it.
Okay.
As I currently have no clue as to its value or purpose.
Yeah, so go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
My best skill, now we just rely on Dice Pot.
Oh, God.
I don't remember where my dice are. Give me a break. I got an 8.
I hate you so much. Every week you use Dice Pot, and every week it rolls single digits.
I can't help it.
So what did you roll?
I got an 8.
You got an 8?
Yeah.
Total.
Okay, so you can't really figure out what's going on with this magicite, but you can tell that it's got kind of a swirling liquid core to it, which is unique. You've never seen anything like this before. You can't figure it out what purpose it serves, how it was formed, or what it does. It has some type of magical aura to it, but beyond that, you're not able to decipher it.
I don't think I have any other trick. Like any backup. Like, well, let me try this. No, I think that was all on my Arcana. Didn't go so well. Well, I guess I'll just get shit-faced.
There you go. So the 6 brothers from Ironvale will be happy to help you. They will teach you some drinking songs, some drinking games. They'll tell you all about their ugly wives and their previous employers, and they're pretty good guys, especially Gus. Gus, great. He's the best.
Which one was Gus?
Gus is the one on the right.
Okay, my right or the other right? I just thought of a brand new drinking game. It's called Drink the Drink.
Well,
all you have to do is drink the drink.
Yeah.
To be more specific, Gus is right of the other one.
That one right there? Or right there?
Yes.
He's the one with the hair. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The hair over there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, to be honest,
Wait,
you can't really tell them apart. They all dress similarly. They have similar features and haircuts. So you just start calling more than one of them Gus. Eventually you'll get it right because you don't really care about the other 5 anyway.
Oh, Gus. Okay.
All right, so that brings us back to Rosa. You have a full day at your disposal. What would you like to do?
I'd like to follow up on the information from Bowden about the Magicite, or let's see, was it Prismatic Topaz and Rainbow Opal? Were those the other things? Just any information that I can research or look up.
And where would you like to go to get said information?
That is a good question. Is there a place in town to get that kind of information? I mean, I have like Arcana and stuff like that.
Roll investigation.
The library burned down 40 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding. There's no library. 1. 10.
Like chainsaw
A
instruction
10?
manuals.
Yep.
Well, you don't even know where to begin in this town. Yep. There doesn't appear to be anybody here that has ever read a book. They probably killed somebody with a book before, but this is clearly not your kind of crowd. And even mentioning the word Magicite seems a little suspect at this time, so it's not the type of question you would just ask out in the open.
Could she have helped Gator if they were both interested in learning something about Magicite?
Well, yeah, if Gator wants to give her a shot at looking at it, we can do that as well.
I was going to ask something about, just trying to remember something from several sessions back. When we purified the well, we used Magicite, didn't we?
Yep.
That's right, yeah.
Interesting. That's...
Well, by the time Rosa finds Gator, he's totally in the bag, and he's probably poked the Magicite stone up his nose like a berry.
You now have the slam doing.
Yeah, no kidding. Good job.
I don't know that.
GG Gator, it was nice knowing you.
How is our former patient doing? That's the other thing too. Is like you were able to cure the one guy who got it on the way.
It took a monumental effort, though.
Oh yeah,
probably Bellini.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm saying is that like you could follow up with him and see if his condition has deteriorated, or if he's maintaining his health, or just to add more data points to your research.
Well, he's trying to keep up drink for drink with the rest of the guys, and he's not doing too bad. He goes by the name Belly. Bellini is his birth name, and Belly's doing just fine.
He's a peach.
I don't know where he would have picked it up or anything like that. That's the other thing is...
From Gator. Who's patient 0?
I'm sure I can't ask anything about the Dark Order. I'm sure the only way that I'd be able to find out more information about stuff like that is to go back to the Risky Rabbit, which I won't.
I mean, if you're gonna go straight there, then it's the safest place in town. It's like, honestly, we could probably set you up with an escort, or when Zinth and I leave to go downtown, we could take you back, there, and then pick you back up at the end of the day if we wanted.
I mean, the other thing is I could look for a temple. Oh, go ahead, Solomon.
You can consult your runes.
The bones. Roll the bones.
I suppose I can. But that's basically just a course of action that we would take in the next half hour.
Yeah, but it could point you towards where you need to go in town.
I asked the rooms where the hell is the library. Donde está? Maybe I'll check it.
El gato es en la pepteleone.
That's not bad. It might lead you to some hidden little trove.
Okay, so you're looking for a library.
Where is the place of information?
Okay.
It's the Risky Rabbit.
So the omen that it provides is it tells you you're coming up with a image of an owl is all that you're getting from this.
Okay.
Interpret that as you will, an image of an owl. And while you're rolling the bones, where are you as you're consulting the bones?
I assume I left the ship because if I was asking around where a library was, or trying to figure it out, I suppose in the tavern would be the place.
Okay, so at the shield.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you get this feeling just of an owl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give an investigation check.
Let's use this one. Another 10.
Okay. Immediately around the tavern, you don't see anything that resembles an owl. What you do see, this tavern is kind of like a hunter's tavern. It has all these mounted heads of different beasts everywhere. It's a very rustic tavern, a lot of wood carvings, but no sign of an owl. Almost every other creature except for an owl.
Well, that sucks. What were some of the names of the other establishments around here? I know Risky Rabbit, the Shield.
You have the tattoo parlor. That's a ruthless aggression tattoo. Okay. You have the Lawful Goodwill General Store. You have the Risky Rabbit.
I got it.
I think that's it.
We got to go to Hooters.
I was
Oh
gonna
my
say,
god!
gotta go to Hootie Hoots Owl Emporium. It's like, how do we miss that one?
Real late on that one. I mean, I guess the only place we haven't checked out in town is the Goodwill. It's that or I find a temple. That was the other thing I considered.
Yeah, and then you got the Hardways, Clubhouse, and the Arena are the other two places. Okay, so exiting the tavern, give an investigation.
There we go. Pick a different die. 20 overall.
Okay. So, as a matter of fact, you do see a carved owl in front of the general store, the Lawful Goodwill.
All right.
It is one of many carvings that are in front of the store, but it catches your eye. There are, the animals that are carved onto the storefront are unlike the animals inside the shield. They are more docile creatures. So quite a contrast from the tavern.
Yeah. Okay. I go in the Lawful Goodwill. Maybe check out the owl on my way in.
Okay. So like we said, it's a hand-carved owl above the door frame of the Lawful Goodwill. And as you enter, you're greeted by a kind face. And she is a woman who is welcoming. She notices you as you walk in. The bell jingles. She's behind the counter. She approaches you with confidence and says, "Well, hello, love. What can I help you with today?"
Well, looking maybe for some books on some pretty rocks. Don't know if you have any of those or even any pretty rocks to look at.
Well, we've got a little bit of everything here.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for geology books. I'll have to check and see what we have in the back. And as far as a rock collection, if there's anything in particular you're looking for, I can get back to you on that. It's kind of an unusual question. So,
Yes.
Can I ask what it is that you plan to do with said items?
Well, the book she wants to read.
Honestly, I am tracing or tracking down rumors basically of the, slamdemic, if you've heard about it or not. And I have some leads that I'm trying to check up on. If you need more specific details on what I'm looking for rock-wise, I could share that information if it helps me track down more clues.
She says, no, you, that's quite enough. I don't think you need to share anything else. Sit tight. Let me check the bookshelf in the back and see what I have for you.
Yo, this girl's got a bookshelf. The entire town comes in and just busts up everything.
Okay, so she goes behind the counter, and as she disappears for a second, you look around, and you, for an instant, you get this sensation of, I could steal anything in here, and she would never know.
Do it.
No.
Do it.
No.
But she appears to trust you enough to go into a little back room. You hear some furniture move around, and some other items are moved around. And then she says, aha! And then she comes back out, and she's got a little pamphlet. And she says, now, this is a bit of a stretch, but I think this might help.
Join the Darker Order.
It's got a little bit of all kinds of information here about Timberclash and the surrounding area, wildlife, the farms, the mines. It's got a map in here. It's got a little bit of everything. I don't know if it's going to have exactly what you're looking for, but if there's anything in Timberclash along those lines, it should be in here, and she shows it to you in the front, welcome to Timberclash. It's not that shitty,
It's like the Timberclash Farmer's Almanac.
Uh-huh.
At least we're not Detroit. If anybody knows that, Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I was hoping people would get that. Is there anything really of use from the pamphlet at all? As I kind of thumb through it?
Oh, she says, well, no. You don't get to read it. You have to purchase it, and then...
I mean, I intended to either way. I'm sorry, how much is the pamphlet?
400 gold.
Oh my god.
Oh, suddenly pushing people in the water is an okay idea now.
Bear with me for just a moment. I'm trying to ask AI how much I should charge you for this book.
Oh my god. Did we just have this conversation in the group chat about what a gold was worth?
Well, AI served me well on the brothel negotiation, so I think it can work at a bookstore as well. Okay, it says 5 gold.
Okay. Actually, I wonder if I can... judging by the cover, I'm not sure. How about 3?
Bronson's grifter sense is tingling somewhere on the sidewalk.
Roll persuasion.
All right. 20.
You read the pamphlet. It says, Timberclash is not a place.
I am not joking. Natural 20.
Nice.
You're my new favorite die.
So she squints at you and gives you the eyebrow, and she says, okay, you drive a hard bargain. 3 gold.
All right, deal.
So you are now in possession of a map of Timberclash, as well as information about the surrounding fauna, the landscape, pretty much anything you want to know about Territory 4.
That actually could be useful even if it isn't about magic.
So it'll take some time to actually study it in regards to what you wanted to use it for, and you'll have to make some connections that aren't exactly on the nose or obvious, but we can get there.
So I guess I'll be spending the rest of my day kind of looking at this pamphlet and studying the information, I guess.
Sure. Okay, so you're going to head back to the ship. Zinthral finishes his tattoo. He'll be happy to share with the group of what it looks like when he comes back next week.
Oh, we already know. We put it in group chat.
Oh, I'm sure it's amazing. Solomon is with Snugglecup on the boat. Gator is drinking with the Iron Veil boys. And Bronson, before you return, you do catch a glimpse of... Well, give me an investigation check. I'll tell you what you see.
Oh, I'm real good at this. 7.
7.
You want me to roll it for you?
So you do see a little person. And you're sure that it's probably a gnome. That's all you can glean from it. Is that there's at least one other gnome in town.
Okay. Gotcha.
It could have been Solomon.
No hardware. Yeah, yeah, right. Didn't get a chance to, or didn't get a good look at his getup or anything like that because I could barely see the fact that he was a gnome.
So there's at least one identity that Solomon could steal in town.
Okay. Cool. Well, where there's one gnome, there's like 90 in the, behind the wall.
Wow.
Like that.
All right, back to the ship.
On the lights, and they just scatter.
Jeez. All right, back to the ship and another long rest. Yay or nay?
Sure. Do we have anything major to discuss?
Well, Rosa, give me an investigation check on what you can glean from the book.
Okay, +1.
Do I help or jump in on that, or
if
whatever?
Rosa wants to share, then yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I'd like to share this information with the group. I got a 17. So
that's pretty good. Solomon, you want to go ahead and roll with advantage, Rosa?
Okay. 17.
She got the hot dice today too.
Yep, so it's still 17. The other
17.
roll was 12.
All right, so you're able to determine that there are several mines in Territory 4, but the majority of the land is timber forest, very tall trees. There is no mention of magicite or prismatic topaz or what was the other one? Rainbow quartz or
Rainbow opal.
Rainbow opal. So there's no mentions of those, which lends you to believe that these are either a very rare material that cannot be locally sourced, or a material that hasn't been sourced before. From memory, you remember that there is definitely a magicite mine in Territory, 5, in Colville, right?
Okay, the one with the poison well.
That's right. One of the mountains there was being heavily mined, and that's what was poisoning the well. But there is nothing of the sort in Territory 4. So while it doesn't reveal any information, it has eliminated some possibilities.
Unless something's being covered up, of course. Maybe one of these mines are not what they say they are.
That was the other thing, is it could be black market or illegal.
Also that.
And this does make you think about the condition of the people in Colville when you first arrived in that town. How ill they were before the well was cleansed. And for all you know, those people may be in fantastic shape, or they may have gotten much worse. So there's been no follow-up on that. It's hard to
Who's the
say.
monster now, Rosa?
But Big Varro and Franco will have lots of information to share when they show up.
Yeah, that or I write a letter to Mother Isolde.
Okay.
Do that at some point.
Sure. Yeah, there is absolutely a post in town that the young Celts can point you towards. That's where they reached out to Big Varro and Franco.
Okay.
Anything else on the agenda before a long rest?
I think that's it.
Okay.
I'm not sure Gator's capable of doing much.
Okay. So, long rest. We wake up. It is Saturday, the day of the backyard wrestling match. And Rosa, you have a map which will direct you to the farm. The farm which goes by the name Rotten Funk Farms is a few miles north of the town. There are 2 roads that you can take to get there. One of the
easy way and the hard way.
See, this guy gets it. And I forgot the name of the roads. Oh, no, I remember the name of the roads. Okay. The first road is called Bear Creek Road. It's known for being home of predatory bears. And the other road is called Dusty Road. And it's notorious. It's notorious for its hard times. It is the preferred route of bandits and is a bit of a dangerous way to go. So you have the choice. You take the road with the bears or the road with the bandits.
Do the bandits...
This is
Bear,
an excellent
bears.
man or the bear decision.
No, it
We're going
couldn't
with the
be.
Bears.
Bronson, help me make a Dusty Rhodes muffler joke.
You know what? Let's go Bears. I mean, I've been working with Snugglecup for almost a couple of months now, and I'm feeling really in tune with animals. This magic collar is remarkable. Honestly, walking down a dusty road, we get jumped by a bunch of guys trying to bandit us. That's a fight. Walking down the road, Bear pops out. Maybe Bear just ate, and he keeps on walking. Just saying.
I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? A bear could eat you.
Yeah,
But
I
then you're gonna
fail
feed the
to
bear.
say, go away, Bear.
If you go with the bandits, it could be worse than just getting killed.
No,
Solomon, bandit is not a verb.
It can be. Have you
You
ever
can
been
bandit
bandited?
I've been
You
stuck on Band-Aid.
You can thief things too.
You can burgle things.
Yep.
So-
Yep. So we're gonna go Bear Road.
Okay, before
Bears.
before leaving town, anything else that needs to be done before you hit Bear Creek Road?
Yeah, we want to see Zinth's tattoo.
Okay, he'll show you. He'll show you the tattoo. So let's hit
It's a
the
full
road.
back tattoo of a griffin.
It's like a full back tattoo of Zinthral's face on his own back.
Like
With a
Steve-O.
thumbs up.
That's
Oh,
right.
and I see at the bottom, just above your tuchus, it says property of Snoogle Cup.
No ragrats.
No.
All right, so here we are on Bear Creek Road. You were coming in from the west side of the road. There is also a road approaching from the south. And out in front, you can see that there is a mess of blood and body parts in the road.
Hey, you were right. The bear just ate.
See, we're already looking like this is a positive situation for us. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean on guard, but and marching order, but yes, making our way through the road. We were briefed that there were bears on this road, right? Is there any human remains, or is it just blood?
Would you like to approach and investigate?
Yes.
Okay. So, oh, son of a gun! I gotta give you access to control your token.
I have access to control my token if it's in.
I can do mine.
Ooh, looks like a few of you might be able to. How about Zinthral? Oh, I think everybody can.
As per usual, I don't stay too far behind Bronson.
Oh, it's not Snugglecup though. Okay, now you can move Snugglecup.
Yeah, I got it.
All right, so in the road you see. Do the thing. There's a bandit in the road.
We got told this was a bear road.
And there is a gigantic bear on top of another bandit just thrashing him.
Let's just move by.
While that happens, what do things look like, I don't know, 10 to 15 feet off the road?
Oh, yeah,
we're surrounded by complete darkness.
That's my bad there. So there's, trees.
Even if it is dark, I got dark vision for 60 feet.
Oh, don't do that.
So bears go to where the pain is. So if he's currently fighting a bandit, chances are we're not gonna have to. Like we're not gonna attract attention unless we try.
Let's go stream side. Let's get our feet wet, as it were, and we'll just give them a wide arc.
I in my mind, this is like we like walk into this situation like at this crossroads, and then Solomon is just like, "Hi, that creek is beautiful," and we just like completely disregard this situation just to walk up the creek. I am thirsty. Let's go get a sip from this bubbling brook over here.
Banditing is a crime.
All right, so as this bandit is just being thrashed by this gigantic bear, let me get an investigation check from everyone.
5.
15.
19.
This should actually be a survival check now that I'm thinking about it, but I will say upon
14.
Investigating, what was the highest? A 15?
Well, Rosa got a 19. Investigation, but my investigation was a survival. I got a 14.
So that reveals a second bear off to the side of the first bear, and everybody roll a survival check.
14.
7.
12.
Gator?
10.
10. Everybody's rolled low so far, and Zinthral also rolls low. So what you notice about the bear is that, this is a massive, massive bear, and it's a pair of them. The bear has spikes sticking out, quills almost from around its body, and it appears extremely aggressive. This is not your average bear.
And I mean, we're pretty close. Bronson, you just want to grab this one guy who's not being mauled by a bear and throw him at that other bear, and then maybe we'll go cliffside instead of stream side?
If these aren't regular looking bears and they're dire bears, we're gonna have problems regardless of how we handle this.
All right. Do you want to throw that guy at the other bear, and then we'll all take a step back, and you start pitching javelins, and we'll all pull out all Zinthral's handy dandy arsenal of
I tell you what. I will pick up the corpse and I will toss it to the other bear.
But before that happens, Gator waves his hand and says, or if we're really hard up, I could just create an extra dimensional space that'll last for 8 hours and these guys will be done eating by then and probably walk away.
And we'll be late for our show.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought I'd offer. We don't have to be in there the whole 8 hours.
Can we put the bears in the pocket dimension?
It doesn't work like that. I would have to be in there with them.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
A gator and 2 bears walk into an extra dimensional pocket.
That's actually what Zinthral's tattoo is.
It's also the cover of the next Mastodon album.
Two bears surrounding a gator.
All right. Let's kill these terrible dire bears and not die in the process. We got, Zinthral, you just stay back. You're headlining the show tonight. Well, I mean, you might not be headlining it, but you are in our hearts. So you stay back. Don't get involved. Save your strength for the show. We'll take care of these bears.
Everybody, roll initiative.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad.
I was like, why not try to just get around him?
I don't think there's getting
They're
around.
dire bears.
Yeah.
This is.
They're smarter than the average bear. They're meaner than the average bear. They're deadly.
They just saw significantly more food show up, and they're probably not inclined to let it.
Yeah. So what happened when I threw the corpse to the other bear?
Well, that guy's not dead.
Okay. Well, what happened when I threw the body of that guy, clearly downed and injured man?
No. The injured one is the one that's being thrashed.
Okay. So there's another guy who's just scared shitless with 2 bears in front of him.
Well, the other guy is trying to save his friend.
Oh, well, in that case, the hold action.
Yeah.
Let's see where this goes, guys.
Yeah. All right, so initiative. Give me
16.
some numbers here. Okay.
17.
8.
Gator?
Yeah.
What? 6?
6.
6.
So he's sick. He's got
All right.
slam-demic.
Let's see.
I took the stone out.
We will let Zinthral roll for himself. What is that, a 10? What is that?
Plus his dex.
I can't see.
Probably a 14.
Where is the dice?
It was a 10.
To me.
Yeah.
I cannot see it. Okay, so, it's going to be that number, and Zinthral will roll for himself. And that's where we're going to call the session for tonight. We will open up with combat next time. You guys chose bears, so you get bears.
Yay!
Chose
And-
the Bears, so I want 1985 Chicago Bears.
I feel like this was a bear and switch.
Yeah, you get both, actually. You get bandits and bears.
Yeah. We're just going to have to grin and bear it.
Mhm. You know, what you don't know is if you went the other way, it would be 2 bandits thrashing a bear.
But they're dire bandits.
That's right. That's right.
That means they're just like 7th level rogues.
They're regular bandits with spikes and horns.
Yep. Well, that's going to wrap up the session for tonight. That was a very unexpected trip to the fancy Risky Rabbit. 100% improv, but that was fun and uncomfortable at times. But I think we all have a man crush on Bowden at this point. What a nice guy.
Nope.
And nobody got, well, one guy got harmed by this bear, but nobody else got harmed tonight. So, Rosa, you should be happy with how things went. And
yeah, we don't have to turn the sign back to 0 days without a Bronson incident.
That's right.
Oh, God.
It's in fact been like 2 whole days since we heard anything.
Yeah, it's been great. So that's going to wrap up this episode of Kings Road Young Lions. We will pick up again a week from now. I've been your DM, GM, Saucey, and they've been the Young Lions. Say goodbye, Young Lions.
Goodbye, young lion.
All right.
That's Dire Bear for Good Night, Young Lions.
Hey, congratulations. If you're still listening, that means you made it to the end of the episode. Thanks for coming by and listening to this edition of Kings Road Young Lions. If you like what you've heard, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below of what you'd like to see on the next episode. For more great content from This Is Awesome Promotions, check out the YouTube channel, check out the Twitch channel, check us out on Twitter at TIA Promotions. Thanks again for coming around, and we'll see you next time down on the King's Road.